In today's climate, nothing will make you a more accurate or confident shooter than Crimson Trace laser sighting systems. Get the immediate, decisive advantage of the world's only grip-integrated laser sights today. Shoot better. Stay safer. Crimson Trace.
This is Tom Gresham's Gun Talk, now available on iTunes and other podcast clients, and on the free Gun Dealio smartphone app for iPhone and Android. Feel free to call Tom now at 1-TOM-TALK-GUN or 866-825-5486, or email Tom at guntalk.com. Now, once again, here's Tom.
All right, let's keep this party going. Tom Gresham here. If you'd like to join us, it's 866-TALK-GUN, or just easier to dial me, 1-TOM-TALK-GUN. You can also email me, tom@guntalk.com. Over on Twitter, I'm at GunTalk. You can follow me there. Of course, you got to get the Gun Talk, or the Gun Dealio, that is, the Gun Dealio smartphone app, because with that you can listen to Gun Talk as you go about your day throughout the week. You can also get good deals, find out what the promotions are from various gun makers. When you go into a gun store, it'll notify you of something cool that's going on. I mean, you're going to buy stuff anyway. Why wouldn't you want to save money? Silly me. You're not going to save anybody. You're just going to buy more stuff for the same amount of money, because that's what we do. Oh, you mean I can save money? Oh, I'll just buy some more stuff. I'll get some more guns and ammo and magazines and things. Shh, you don't have to tell everybody. We'll pretend that we're saving money, but it really means we're just going to buy more stuff. It's called Gun Dealio. You can get it at the Apple Store and Google Play for your phone. So it's free. It's available for all the smartphones out there. When we created 3 years ago our online television show, First Person Defender, I did not know what we would discover. I did not know it was going to be, in fact, a voyage of discovery, where you take regular people, some with very little training and some with some decent training, and drop them into a force-on-force scenario, and they get carjacked or robbed at an ATM, or somebody tries to steal their baby, or it's a home invasion, or it's a robbery, or it's a mugging, or it's a fight that they stumble upon. Do you get involved? We didn't know what was going to happen. But what was interesting about it was watching the various reactions, and what you learned was that whatever someone brings to the encounter is all they have. What do I mean by that? You're not going to acquire new skills once you're attacked. You're not going to acquire a new awareness. And we watch people mentally double clutching. It's like tilt. I mean, and sometimes when you watch it, when we do the shows, we actually have to have our bad guys kind of stop, slow down, and give them a chance to gather themselves. I mean, in the real world, they'd be down on the ground, or they'd be shot, or they'd be whatever. But we kind of got to give them a chance, because they just, even though they just spent all this time gearing up, they got the simunitions gun, they got the helmet on, they got the protective stuff on, they know they're going into this. They don't have the mean gene. They don't have the warrior mindset. Well, joining me to talk about that and a whole lot of other things. You've seen him on television a lot, looking a little bit like Mr. Clean goes to the gym. Mike Seeklander joins us right now. Hey, Mike, how are you?
Hey, Tom, how are you today?
I am good. I mean, and you heard that introduction, and you've seen it as a trainer for all these years. We put people into these situations, and it's, if they don't have it when they walk in, they're not going to get it in the middle of it, are they?
No, absolutely not. And as a matter of fact, their stress response is probably going to shut down what they believe to be their intelligent brain thought processes, and they'll have basically nothing. I mean, the real life is a strange deal. I mean, my heart is up just a little bit because I'm talking to you on the radio right now, but imagine if I were getting into a real-life fight on a street somewhere where I was completely unaware of the fact that was about to happen. So, yeah, people got to pre-prepare.
I talked to people about it. I said, you need to have had the fight dozens of times while you're in your easy chair. You need to have gone there mentally over and over. If this happens, I will do that. If this happens, I will do that. Because what you're doing in part, and help me with this, is you shorten your reaction. I know people call it the reactionary gap, but The problem is recognizing it and then processing it and then deciding what to do and then actually doing it, right?
Yeah, and here's the unique thing: the portion of the brain that you involve when you daydream, when you visualize or daydream a situation, your response and the outcome, the brain does not know the difference. I mean, it stimulates the same receptors and learning processes as if you were going through those situations or scenarios in real time in the real world. So your brain thinks it learned something from it, and it becomes a potential default, a program that you pre-programmed for that fateful day, you know?
Well, but in order for that to be helpful, you have to visualize the correct things, and that kind of brings us to what your current thing is, right?
Yeah, and that's where we could separate into the hard skill sets. Of course, the soft skills or those mental programming concepts are where you're programming your brain. You could visualize it, but in order for someone to visualize a correct response, whether that be an empty-handed response or a weaponized response, they have to understand the tools and have some hard skills. They have to physically know how to do those things: throw a punch, draw a handgun, deploy a knife, use a taser, and that's exactly what I'm working on right now, Tom.
All right, I call it the American Warrior Society. What is that? How did this come about?
Man, well, here's the deal. For years, I've been training people and going to class after class after class, and I often get the question, well, Mike, what about this or that? And my observation with almost all my students across the board is that oftentimes they're misinformed. And one of the things that I wanted to get outside of was the labeling of, hey, I'm Mike Seeklander, the gun guy and the best defense. The reality is I've been doing jiu-jitsu and kickboxing and fighting and bridging the gap between self-defense and firearms and everything else for years, you know, as a police officer and a bouncer and whatever else. And, man, I wanted to create something, an area where people could go to where there's like-minded individuals, where we eliminate the forum and the internet trolls, for lack of a better word, and give quality, objective information. And what I mean by quality objective means the American Warrior Society is unique, Tom, and I know it's a different model, but there are no advertisers on the AmericanWarriorSociety.com. We're an advertisement-free site because information is so empowering. There's so much information out there right now that there's almost too much, and I think people are so used to just receiving information from Facebook at 1 million bits per second. They don't slow down enough to really learn something, and that's what I'm trying to create, is a society of people that are learning to be safer.
One of the things I've said to people, and I said it actually a lot of times, and after a while you wonder, is anybody actually understanding what you're saying? And that is simply this. If you have not received true, real training, then it's very likely that everything you know about this subject is wrong.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's right.
And then people say, well, what do you mean? I said, well, everything. I mean, it's kind of like, well, what are you talking about? I said, I mean, everything. I'm not kidding. Everything. All of the BS you see on the internet about when you can shoot, what you should do, what you shouldn't do, what you should do after the fact, should you talk to the police, what should you say, how do you carry a gun, how do you draw a gun? I make this point. I say, look, if you have a long gun and you're moving through your house, do you go muzzle up or muzzle down? And they stop and there's this long pause. It's like, I never thought of that. I said, well, there's a right answer and there's a wrong answer, and there's a reason for that. And that's what I'm talking about, is if you go to people like Mike Seeklander or Gunsight or Thunder Ranch or SIG Academy or one of these places, because they spend their lives working and thinking this stuff through. And if you don't know that, you just don't know.
Well, and that's the thing about, my beloved students. Every one of them that has ever attended my class, or the large majority of them, don't know what they don't know. And once they get into class after the 2-day cycle, and I really build the whole picture, they're like, oh, my Lord, I had no idea. Now, those are the people that have the intent of getting better. Now, imagine the other million people out there that never realized they should go to a class or won't ever go to a class. They have no idea. And the average state is giving them a concealed carry permit or the right to carry or whatever else, or they have this belief they can somehow defend themselves, and unfortunately, a lot of people find they're wrong. They don't know what they don't know.
There's also one other thing, and I've got to say this because I got to say it. On the first person offender, where we put people into self-defense situations, we've had 4 people who are really bad in 3 seasons. I mean, really bad. 2 of them were women who have never handled a gun before. Okay, got it, understand. 2 of them were concealed carry instructors. Scared the bejesus out of me. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. You're teaching people this stuff. So I go back to, I say, know who's teaching you, know what you're getting. So what are they going to get out of this American Warrior Society that you just created?
Well, here's the deal. The American Warrior Society, and the website is live today, is a multidiscipline platform. It's a membership website, and I have got all of the handgun material that I've ever done. We've got handgun modules. We've got less lethal modules. We've got empty-handed combatives modules. And basically, I'm 44 years old, Tom. I took everything that I've ever learned about fighting and self-defense in corrections, as a police officer, in the military, or from other brilliant trainers like you, and put it into one area. And then I said, no advertisements, no flashy things, nothing to distract the user from learning something. Because when you land on our site, I want you to spend that moment of time, whether it's 5 minutes or 5 hours, learning something, and then more importantly, acting on the information you got, and which is why we called it a society. I didn't want to call it a club, an organization, or something you might join and go to on the weekends. I want this to be a lifestyle for people. I want them to embrace their self-defense. That's what I want them to do. I want to make people safer.
And I'm glad you incorporated the word warrior into it. It's funny. Just last week, Ryan and I were talking. I said, what I find is that some people are warriors and some are not. And the ones who are not, I don't know that you'll ever get them to be. They just don't think that way. And the ones that are want to learn more. I created this acronym, INTOT, I-N-T-O-T. I never thought of that. I bet you hear that all the time.
I do.
All right. And the website is AmericanWarriorSociety.com. You can go there. All the information's there. You can sign up. You can get all this information. Mike, good on you, man. This is information. We got to find every way we can to reach people to get them this info.
That's exactly, and that's the goal, man. I won't stop until I've reached everybody that I could possibly reach that wants to be safer.
Well, that's pretty much it. Mike Seeklander. It's called the AmericanWarriorSociety.com. We'll be right back with more Gun Talk.
Accurate, powerful, consistent. At Double Tap Ammunition, we offer 364 loads in 83 calibers that give you exactly what you've been looking for. Try us out at www.doubletapammo.com and use the promo code GUNTALK for 10% off your order.
You're at a gun store and your phone tells you about hot deals. Want to know about special offers? No problem when you have Gun Dealio, the free app for your smartphone. Gun Dealio delivers the latest deals on guns, ammo, and extras direct to your phone. Don't overpay for your shooting gear. Get Gun Dealio. It's free at the App Store and Google Play. Trigger the deals with Gun Dealio. GunDealio.com.
Hi, this is Sarah. A silencer is today's most popular firearm accessory because it makes shooting sports more enjoyable. You're able to wear little or no hearing protection, and it decreases recoil, offering greater shooting accuracy. It's perfect for hunters and those who want more social interaction during shooting sports. So why are you waiting? SilencerShop.com is easier and faster than buying one off the shelf because they handle all the details, and they have the largest selection of top brands. Visit SilencerShop.com to find a silencer for your firearm.
The .45 Auto, also known as the 1911, is the standard other defensive pistols are measured against. No matter what pistol you carry, techniques developed around the 1911 are vital. You know you need training, and you know your concealed carry class definitely was not training. Now Gun Talk presents an exciting DVD, Fighting with the 1911 with Tiger McKee. Tiger's unique training style will have you drawing, moving, shooting, and running your gun better, no matter what style pistol you prefer. At ShopGunTalk.com, you can order our DVDs of Tiger's instruction. ShopGunTalk.com also has a 2-DVD set, including Concealed Carry 1. Get both for the information you know you need. This really is life and death. ShopGuntalk.com has DVDs, books, and other essential gear. ShopGuntalk.com. That's ShopGuntalk.com.
Hardcore tactical professionals who put their lives on the line every day depend on Surefire. For decades, Surefire has built the first and finest professional-grade flashlights, weapon-mounted lights, hearing protection, and suppressors. We build the best because lives depend on it. And we know failure is not an option. We design, engineer, and manufacture Surefire products right here in the U.S. For you, for your loved ones, Surefire. American built, American strong. Surefire.com.
At Double Tap Ammunition, we hand inspect every round that we make, and we use only the best components to give you the best ammunition on the market. Try us out at www.doubletapammo.com and use the promo code GUNTALK for 10% off your order.
I had to answer it. I was just writing an email. Who was that? That was Jeff asking me. He says, what do you think about bump fire stocks? Are they worthwhile? Well, yeah, worthwhile is kind of a personal thing. I don't know. Are they fun? Absolutely. Then he said, but I want to put it on the Smith & Wesson AR-1522, the M&P 1522. No, I don't need any of them that would work with the recoil of a 22. You need something with some recoil to make them work. Worthwhile? I don't know. It's like when people say, well, is such and such a gun worth it? Well, I don't know. They're worth it to somebody. Is it worth it to you? I don't know. It's one of those impossible questions. I can't answer that for everyone. Let's go to line one. Rick's with us out of Rhode Island. Hey, Rick, what happened with this gun maker?
I bought the Century Arms C39 back in 2014, I think shortly after it came out, because I wanted to get into the AK world, and they portray this gun as an American-made, 100% American-made rifle, and so I wanted to buy American-made, and I wanted an AK, and so it was just a great choice for me, and so I got it, and I enjoyed it, and had a lot of fun with it, and didn't have any issues with it, and then in this past November, went to the range like any other day, and on the second trigger pull, it basically blew up in my face. What had happened was, and it wasn't the gun's fault as it turned out, it was just bad ammo, and it had a case wall breach, and so most of the gas from the round going off went backwards into the receiver instead of out the barrel and blew the dust cover off, which I think bounced off my face. You're not kidding when you tell people to always wear eye protection. So
yes, sir.
Yeah, it was it done a number on the gun, and it wasn't the gun's fault. It couldn't take the pressure, all that pressure coming back into the receiver. Fortunately, I had escaped any serious. I didn't get hurt by it. I had black powder all over my hands, but I wasn't wounded in any way. I'm sure the goggles helped out with that. So, but naturally, it scared me. And I'm like, I can't touch this thing ever again until I have it looked at. And I called Century and let them know what had happened. They wanted some pictures, and then they said, well, send it back to us. I let them know exactly what happened, and I was confident it wasn't the gun's fault. I had the spent shell casing, and you could see the ruptured side wall and what had happened. And so I was completely honest with them, and I sent it back to them. And then they called me back and said, our gunsmith looked at it and deemed the gun unrepairable, so what we're going to do is we're going to send you a brand new version 2.
Really?
Yeah, I was stunned. I was absolutely stunned. I told them flat out, I wasn't trying to get away with anything. I know your rifle didn't malfunction. It was just bad ammo that didn't do what it was supposed to do. And I was prepared to just send it back and take whatever I got. And they're like, we can't fix it. So if it's okay with you, we want to send you the brand new version 2 of the same rifle that just came out that year. And I was absolutely blown away.
That is just awesome. I mean, and it's interesting how many times I get reports like that. For somebody says, I had no expectation that they would do anything. I just wanted to let them know. And they go, no. We're going to take care of you. You're a customer. We're going to. Century Arms didn't owe you anything, and you told them up front you weren't expecting anything. Now, what the gun did do for you is you may have gotten a bunch of powder in your face, but it didn't blow up and take off your hand. So that's a good thing for the gun. So it did what it was supposed to do there. That is a terrific story. Man, I really appreciate you sharing that with us, Rick. It's just, there you go. Thank you for the call, sir. I appreciate that. Line 4, Paul. Why are you looking at a 2535, Paul?
Well, I came across it with a brother that suddenly had a medical issue, had to go in a nursing home. And his daughter called and said, come get all his guns. I don't want them in my house. He can't have them in the nursing home. So I've got I think it's a Savage lever-action octagon barrel stamped smokeless. And the ammo that came with it is 2535. And I'm thinking, what am I going to do with this?
Is it a Savage Model 99?
I can't see the model number. There's some gunk on the barrel I haven't cleared out, or on the wall or something. I haven't found. There's a lot of stuff on the gun.
It's a delightful little cartridge. It's basically think of it as a 30-30 neck down to 25 caliber. Almost no recoil. It could be a 200-yard whitetail gun. You can get ammo for it. So get it cleaned up, get a gunsmith to check it over and make sure everything's okay with it. But if you want to shoot it, man, that's a nice little rifle. Take care of that thing. It's a nice piece of history also.
Well, I'm thinking, even though my niece doesn't want any guns in her house, she acknowledges one of her kids might want it. And her son, who's still in high school, has gone plinking, and he likes it. But I don't think this will be the gun that he wants to plink with.
Well, it's not going to have much recoil. It's a light kicking little gun, little 25 caliber. You're probably looking at 2,300 feet per second, not a lot. But yeah, you know what? You might want to just get somebody to clean it up carefully. Don't let anybody sandblast it or ruin the finish on it. Just get it cleaned up, dressed up, checked over. And maybe when the time's right, invite him to go out and do a little shooting. And maybe he'll want to end up with it just as a family heirloom, something like that. But that's delightful. What a fun little thing. Aren't these guns interesting that we can pass them down and they have our family stories encapsulated in them? I mean, there are guns I can pick up and go, oh yeah, that was my dad's gun. I remember the stories about he did this, or I remember when he told me that. And it's a touchstone. It's a connection. Belong to my dad. You can have guns that belong to your grandfather. There's just something special about them. They last a long time, but you got to take care of them. We'll be right back.
This is considered quiet. Help make the world a quieter place. Visit silencershop.com to find a dealer powered by Silencer Shop near you. No crickets were harmed in making this commercial.
When it's all on the line, you can count on Trijicon Optics. Earning its reputation in combat and on hunts in all corners of the world, Trijicon comes through. The new AccuPower rifle scopes feature battery-powered illuminated reticles, variable power, adjustable brightness, plus they're waterproof. The years of waiting, the dollars spent, your hunt of a lifetime comes down to a single moment. Get Trijicon quality. Trijicon.com. Trijicon.com.
A great rifle and scope won't do you any good if your mount fails. Whether it's for hunting, competition, or tactical use, Warren has a rugged, reliable scope mount for you. Warren scope mounts are the choice of top competitors and professional hunters alike. American-made quality and performance you can count on. Visit your local dealer or go to warnscopemounts.com. WARNE scopemounts.com. Set your sights on Warren.
You're at a gun store and your phone tells you about hot deals. Want to know about special offers? No problem when you have GUNDEALIO, the free app for your smartphone. GUNDEALIO delivers the latest deals on guns, ammo, and extras direct to your phone. Don't overpay for your shooting gear. Get GUNDEALIO. It's free at the App Store and Google Play. Trigger the deals with GUNDEALIO. GUNDEALIO.com.
For 36 years, the U.S. Sportsmen's Alliance has been fighting to protect hunting, fishing, and trapping for sportsmen from coast to coast. Today, we are under constant attack from extremist animal rights groups who want to end your ability to hunt in the U.S. Join us to protect our sporting heritage and our way of life outdoors. To join or for more information on how you can help, go to ussportsman.org. That's ussportsman.org.
Check out our FAQs at guntalk.com or email us your question or concern to tom@guntalk.com. Now back to Tom, a Washington Times opinion page regular contributor.
Welcome back to Gun Talk. Tom Gresham here. 866-TALK-GUN gets you in here. Also, in a few minutes, I'll give you the inside story of what happened. Another Democrat politician miscalculating when he goes for the gun control knockout. The Virginia governor got his rear end handed to him and had to do an about face and work with the NRA to try to save himself. I'll have all that for you. Coming up in just a few minutes here. But first, let's go talk with Kathy. Kathy, I understand that you were chatting with Michelle. You guys are talking 327s before you got on here. What was all that about?
Oh, just woman talk, Tom.
It's girl talk. Okay, we're just talking about the guns and calibers and things. Now, I understand that you took some people to the range or took somebody to the range recently. What's the story here? What happened?
Well, a friend of mine had a 24-year-old son, and he wanted to buy a pistol, but had never shot one. So she wanted to know if I could take him to the range with a assortment of pistols for him to fire so he could get an idea of what he liked and didn't like. Okay, sounds to me like you're the gun gal here, right? I've heard that before. I've got a couple of them.
Okay.
I had asked him before we went what he had in mind that he thought he would like. Just curious, and he said he thought 45 was the gun he needed. So I took the 22s, because we always start with that, and a couple 380s, a bunch of 9s, and 345s.
Yeah, you got a couple of guns, right? Okay.
Oh, that was
I love
what was in the car that day.
I understand. No, I'm loving how this is developing. I'm hanging with you. I'm waiting for it.
And I'm sure it's just a small fraction of what's in your safe.
Me? No.
No. So when we got to the range, it's really sweet to have long tables so we could get all the guns set up and get them out, get the magazines out and look at them. They gave me an opportunity to show him the different size bullets. So when I referred to the 380, he knew in his mind, oh, that's what that bullet looks like. Or a 45. Okay. How much bigger that was than the 22.
Right.
So had him load all the guns, because I basically don't like to do anything. I'm there to help. So he knew how to load the 22s. He knew how to load, the 380s and the 9s and the 45s. And, of course, he had it with blood there.
Right. So, so he's sitting there stuffing magazines, and you're teaching him how to do that.
Yes. And we're also discussing the range rules as we're doing this. And I had him read the range rules, but then we're discussing them and answering questions. And, one of the range rules says you to have hearing protection, but it doesn't require that you make sure everyone in the room has it on before you start shooting. And at the range we go to, they have 3 separate range rooms with 6 lanes in each room. So a lot of times we'll have it to ourselves because we go during the day, during the week.
Right.
So I've always told whoever I'm with, you're not required to make sure everyone has ear protection, but you'll be the likable person in the room if you do.
That's right. People won't like you very much if you just start cranking off rounds without letting people know so they can get their ears on. So what did you have him start with the 22s, shooting with the 22s?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. And most of the time I'm taking women to the range. And I've heard so many husbands tell the story about, I took my wife to the range, I had her shoot my 45, it scared her, now she doesn't want to shoot anymore, ha, ha, ha. And it just, I want to cry. So when I see guys with their husbands, husband and wives at the range or boyfriend and girlfriend, I always try to find out what they're shooting and then offer them a 22 if they don't have one. And I've actually been taken up on that before.
All right. Well, so what did he end up liking the most out of what he shot?
The 45. It was a Ruger SR 1911.
Nice. So you worked him up to the 45, working through the 22 and the 380 and the 9 and the 45.
Yep. And the last 45 would have been the XDS Springfield. So
what was his takeaway? Did he want to come back and shoot some more?
But we had to go back the next day.
Well, you know what it is? You started him out right. You made it fun. And you also gave him that confidence of knowing, okay, I know what's safe. I know what's okay. I know that I'm doing this right. I'm not going to embarrass myself. And God, you did it the right way, Kathy. That's perfect. How many people do you take out a year? Do you have any idea how many people you are introducing to shooting?
Oh, yeah, maybe 15.
You really don't? 15, 20, whatever. Yeah, it's more. Yeah. I guarantee it's more than you think. That is fabulous. All right. Quick question for you. Right now, what's your favorite handgun?
Oh, Tom.
I know, that's impossible, isn't it?
Probably the one I need to pick up on Tuesday.
Uh-oh, what's that?
Ruger American.
I love that pistol. I just got that in. I just got a Blade Tech holster for it. Man, is that nice. Have you felt one yet? Have you had one in your hands?
No.
Oh, you're going to like this pistol.
Did you get the 9 or the 45?
I got the 9. Started with the 9.
He shot the 45 and the 9, and he preferred the 45.
Interesting, and that's why they make them in 2 different calibers, so you can try different ones. It's just, it's what it is. We try different ones, we like different ones, and then, we go from there. Kathy, just a huge Gun Talk attaboy for what you're doing. That is just huge. Atta girl. Okay, yeah, Jim says, that's an atta girl. Okay, whatever. Kathy knows what I'm talking about. Take them out, teach them, get them started the right way. Thank you. For anybody that wants to take somebody out to the range, Kathy just told you how to do it. Make them feel comfortable, give them the safety lessons, eye protection, hearing protection, start them on 22s. Let me say that again. Start them on 22s. Work their way up. Explain it all. You're going to build a shooter and somebody who loves this for life. Doesn't get any better than that. Thank you, Kathy. 866-TALK-GUN.
In the war on terror, fighting crime in the streets, in competition and homes around the world, one name in firearms stands out: Sig Sauer. Our pistols and rifles are renowned for their unfailing performance. This same commitment to excellence can be found in our line of SigTac accessories and the training offered by the Sig Sauer Academy. For unmatched quality, reliability, and innovation when it counts, choose Sig Sauer. Visit SigSauer.com today.
Experts agree that the low-range variable rifle scope is best for most situations. Now, Trijicon offers a stunning 1-to-6 power variable in the AccuPoint line. Featuring a battery-free illuminated reticle, superior glass clarity, and rugged construction, it's the one scope you need for hunting and competition. Long eye relief, aircraft-grade aluminum housing, manual brightness override. See the 1-to-6 power AccuPoint at Trijicon.com. Trijicon.com.
Hi, this is Tom Gresham from Gun Talk. America is losing critical wildlife habitat at a rate of 1 football field every hour. It's happening on the Louisiana coast, but it's critical to all sportsmen and conservationists. These precious wetlands provide winter habitat for more than 10 million ducks and geese annually, waterfowl that migrate north through dozens of states. Don't shrug it off. Get involved. You can help. Visit vanishingparadise.org.
I'm just as good as these guys. When will I get my chance to prove it?
Your chance is now. American Marksman is a nationwide series of target shooting competitions designed to give you your big break. Think you've got what it takes to go home with $50,000? Visit ammarksman.com to register today. That's ammarksman.com. American Marksman. Are you the one?
Let's let's go straight to the phones. Line 3, Roy's with us out of Waterville, Ohio. Something happened in a parking lot, Roy? What happened, man?
Yeah, hi, Tom. You're always asking for range reports. I think maybe you need to distinguish between range and field reports, because this is not on a range.
Okay.
I went out to the parking lot from my sports store with a bag full of ammo, and I saw this young man going from car to car on a bicycle. Well, it turned out he wasn't a young man. He was a middle-aged man, and he was a big man. And what he did was he kind of got me between two cars, and he was just coming at me like begging. And so for some reason, I don't know why, I've never done it before, I put up my hand, happened to be the bag of ammo. I said, stop. Right. And I said it really loud. I said, stop, get away, back up. And he did. And he had just a dumbfounded look on his face. And the thing I was telling Michelle, that day, I don't know why, I usually carry my little Kel-Tec 380. For some reason, I got up with my LC9. And he just looked at me, and I put my hand on my hip, with my shirt over, didn't expose anything. And he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry." He said, "Sorry to bother you." But I'll tell you, I watched the videos on your station. I, read the books, all the massage books, and member of Legal Defense, watched all their videos. And I guess it just kicked in. And all I could think of is he had me between two cars. He was twice my size, half my age. And I was really glad I had what I had on my hip and did what I did.
Hey, well, and it sounds to me like you did it right. All you did, if somebody said, well, what'd you do? It said, all I did was tell him to stop right there and go away. What's wrong with that? Didn't pull your gun, but he understood you weren't letting him get closer. And for those who don't know, let me explain, because you've watched the videos. We go over and over on this on the First Person Offender Show. By the way, that's free on YouTube. Don't let people get close to you. If your antenna is saying, beware, beware, don't be afraid of embarrassing yourself. You can always, you can always apologize, but I don't care. I don't care what a stranger thinks about me. By the way, here's a line. I just learned this one from somebody this week, and I thought it was a really good one. Somebody's kind of starting to walking up. You just turn and look at them real hard and say, is there something you need? Just like that, with the emphasis on need, like, whoa. And they kind of back up. Well, you're stopping them from getting close to you. I got to tell you, you score a big A+ on this one, Roy. I just think you handled it well. You weren't looking for a fight. You actually worked hard at making sure you didn't get mugged and weren't a victim. And now let me ask you a question. Did you, at the end of this, call the police?
That is an excellent point. I did not. And that's part of what I should have done. You're exactly right.
I just wonder if maybe calling the police, at the very least, lets them say, okay, we need to go take a look. Maybe there's nothing here. Let me ask you this. Could you see, what was the guy doing before he came up to you? When you say he was going from car to car, what was he doing?
There was an older gentleman, two people in front of me in the checkout lane, and by the time I got out there, I saw the old fella in the car. The guy was right next to him, and the older gentleman got out of the car, reached in his pocket, and gave him some money. And so he was going, and there weren't that many cars. And now here's another thing I thought. I'm not going to park next to another car or between two cars next time if I don't have to. I want space.
Mm-hmm.
And that
interesting you say that. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say it never occurred to me before. And I remember, as this happened, going back over it in my mind, I can remember reading about these things, seeing these things, and I don't know where they were, but I'm telling you, they came out when they needed to come out, and I'm not carrying that little Kel-Tec 380 anymore, I'll tell you that.
Roy, listen, thank you so much for the call and for giving us that field report. Roy's point about parking next to other cars, what he's saying, and the thing is, he's become a student of this. He's watching First Person Offender. He is looking at our videos. He's reading about this stuff online. He's reading Masada Ayub stuff. When you are between two cars, what happens, it's a very typical scenario. Guy comes up, he's a panhandler, and he makes one punch, bang, you go down, you are now invisible. You are between two cars on the ground, and he can do whatever he wants to you, miss. He can do whatever he wants to your wife, to your daughter. Get the members of your family to start thinking in terms of, let's park further away from the door. Let's park where we're not going to be right up against another car. You know what? We could use the walk. We need the healthy walk here. And then when you're walking across, and here's really an important point, I can't say this too often, when you're walking across a parking lot, do not have your telephone in your hand. Do not be talking on your telephone. Do not be texting. Do not be checking Facebook. Don't check your stocks. Don't be doing anything on your phone. Put it away. Get your head up. Look around and have a vision that goes far, near, far, near. You go left, you go far, near. You go right, you go far, near. Look far away, and then we'll look up close. It's an active scanning pattern. You will see things when you start doing this. You go, wow, there's a whole lot going on out here. I was oblivious. That means I did not know what was going on around me. Put your telephone away. It makes you a victim. It makes you easier for people to get up on top of. Oh, I have my phone so I can call 911. Great, they'll be there in 15 minutes to take the report on what happened to you. We'll be right back. All right, back with you. I did mention I was going to tell you what happened in Virginia. You remember the Virginia governor and the attorney general got together and they said, we're going to kill off reciprocity with 25 states so that Virginia will not recognize the out-of-state carry permits of people from 25 states. This is an anti-rights governor. He ran on that platform. He's an anti-gun rights person, as is his attorney general, Terry McAuliffe, governor of Virginia. And I'm sure he was listening to the Brady campaign, and everybody telling him this will be popular, this will be great, you'll be a hero. What he was the goat. He had his rear end handed to him. He had no idea what was coming because he didn't talk to gun owners, didn't talk to his voters. And what he didn't expect is that the people of Virginia would be so mad at him because he never knew, and the Brady campaign never told him, that, if you do this, your voters in Virginia who have carry permits, their permits are now no good in half the states. You didn't do this to people outside of your state. You did this to the people inside your state. The backlash was overwhelming. The legislature was going to vote to remove the security from the governor, so they wouldn't fund his security. It went on and on. Well, they had to find a way out. They had to find a way to save face. So they undid this thing last week, and they said, well, we have reached a deal so that it's a good deal because we're going to reinstate the reciprocity. And then we're going to have more gun control here because we're going to make it so that if you have a permanent restraining order for domestic violence, you won't be able to have a gun. Well, under federal law, if you have a permanent restraining order against you, you can't buy a gun anyway. Shades of Barack Obama saying he was going to do things that were already law. But he had to find a way to get out of it. He truly did have his butt handed to him with this one. A suggestion for those Democrats running for office around the country whose advisors are telling them it's okay to come out as an anti-gun person, it's okay to come out as an anti-rights person, it's okay to be anti-civil rights because gun rights are civil rights. It's okay to finally come out of the closet and say that you really do want to take guns away from people. It'll cost you. It'll cost you votes. It'll cost you support. It'll cost you money. And it will gain an energized base for your opponent. Why is it that the Democrats have to keep relearning this over and over and over again? They seem to forget it. I think it's because they just live in this bubble. By the way, speaking of bubbles, one quick thing. Tucker Carlson, writing in Politico, great piece, talked about Donald Trump and how he was created by the GOP, and the GOP hates him. And his point, when you boil it all down, is simply this. The reason Donald Trump is popular is because we don't like the GOP. We who are conservatives, we who have traditionally supported Republicans, it's not that we don't trust them anymore. That's not it. We absolutely do trust them. We trust them to betray us. Year after year, decade after decade, they tell us what they're going to do, and then they go up there and do the opposite. They take care of themselves in a corrupt, incestuous system. We absolutely trust Republicans to screw us every single time. So if you want to understand, Tucker Carlson says, what's really going on and where the support for Trump is coming from, it's because Republican voters have looked at the Republican Party and said, we know who you guys are, and we don't care about this guy and all the problems he has, and that he used to be a liberal, and maybe he's not really telling the truth. You know what we like about him? He's not you. And if you don't like him, that means that he's probably good for us, because it's not that we don't trust you guys. We trust you because we know every time you're going to stick it to us.